What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are here. We are back with another Love in Paradise video. And this one is episode 8 of season 8. No, season 2. Yes. Episode 8 of season 2. Yeah, that's the one. But anyway, with that being said though, let's start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel, every single person that is a member of Patreon, and every single person that is a subscriber. Now with that being said, let's get into this week's episode.
A week now, and Carlos and I have had our ups and downs, but we are definitely working through our issues in a productive way. So I planned a special surprise to show that I am just as invested in this relationship as he is. We're here. Oh, wow. How do you know I like these restaurants? Because I'm cool like that. I planned a very special birthday party for Carlos, and he has absolutely no idea. I hope everything works out perfectly. Oh my God. So it's not just a happy birthday, I love you, and hopefully this is the beginning of many more times together with you. How do you say come on out in Spanish? Like, vamos ahora. Vamos ahora. Vamos ahora. There was such a long time since I feel this kind of love, and now my man is just melting. Not only my heart, my whole body is melting for him. Gracias, de verdad, por agradezco que estén acá compartiendo.
You know, first and foremost, happy birthday to the birthday man himself in particular. But this definitely would have been better if Valentine had the opportunity to obviously arrange this surprise birthday party with Carlos's family. Which is why it is very crucial and more important than ever that Carlos steps up and tells his family the truth about himself. Because as long as he's hiding the truth Valentine can't really ever realistically propose to Carlos. Because remember, that was Valentine's agenda, to propose to Carlos. But you can't propose to someone that can't really have a wedding without the family members being there. And let's be honest, the worst case now would be to propose, Carlos says yes, and then they go off and elope. And then he comes back, tells his parents that, hey, guess what, mom, daddy, I'm gay and I'm also married. That would be the worst case scenario. So that's why, as much as this should be a good thing that is thrown a surprise party, it would have been better if he had been able to do that with, you know, obviously Carlos's actual family. And you never know, the proposal could have happened on the birthday too. Not saying that I would have recommended it regardless whether the parents knew or not, because they're still not compatible. But I'm just saying, despite the lack of compatibility, that is one thing that also needs to be worked on ASAP. But hey, let's get into it.
Toda mi familia que crecimos en un pueblo pequeño. Tomorrow is going to be one of the most important days of my life. I'm not only taking Valentine to meet my sister, I'm also coming out of the closet for the first time to her. I never talked with, but I feel so happy right now, and my love for Valentine is so strong that I don't want to hide him from anyone.
It's about damn time. Sister first, that's fine with me. Then parents, let's make it happen, okay? The secrets aren't going to help your relationship. But here's the thing though, I hope he doesn't think that telling his sister and then waiting a longer period of time until he tells his parents is the best idea. No, you tell your sister, and then within the next couple of days, or maybe even the same day or whatever, you tell your parents, okay? Don't be prolonging it for a week, a month. Remember, you've only got 90 days as well. Let's not forget that. Well, you haven't really, because you're actually in the Caribbean, aren't you? But I'm just saying. Yeah.
I'm nervous, I'm anxious, because I don't want this situation to affect my relationship with my sister. But if she reacts the same way she did with Hunter, this will definitely be the end of our relationship.
I really hope your sister takes it on the chin and she supports you. That's all I can say. Whether or not, I mean, their relationship shouldn't end based on the family though. I really hope that's not the case. It should end on the basis of that they learn that they're just not compatible and they both need to be with someone that is a button. Simple as that.
No dorme.
Johan and I are supposed to get married in 3 days, and I'm feeling really uneasy. We're visiting his family, and last night before dinner, they made it very clear that they want him to move to the United States. And it seems like that's what he wants to. That was never our plan. I was always going to say that he's only marrying me because he wants to move to the United States, get a job, and send money back to his family.
Necesito un baño.
Bueno, pues, ¿te das un baño?
Thankfully, we have a couples therapy appointment today. I made this appointment before we came on this trip because I knew we had a lot of things to talk about, and now we really need to figure out where we're going to live, so I'm really glad that it's today. Getting ready at Johan's house is definitely different from what I'm used to.
You know what though? There's always those couples. You just think The biggest red flag's already there, but you're hanging in for what reason? But that's the thing about 90 Day Fiancé. It doesn't matter what spin-off season we're watching, apart from 90 Day Fiancé UK, which at this moment in time seems to be quite genuine. It seems to be quite good. You know, it feels very like the very old school 90 Day. You know, when 90 Day first started and the relationship were actually like, okay, we can see where this can go. All those things before the toxicity really took over, you know. That's the good thing about 90 Day Fiancé UK, which you can find on Patreon. Come on now. But with that being said, though, at the same time, though, the problem with 90 Day Fiancé is that every couple that we see is always prone to have so many freaking red flags. It's like, why? End of the day, she's being used and she's allowing it, and that is why I will not have sympathy for her, point blank, period.
Because our couples therapist is bilingual. Welcome. Nice to meet you. You also. While I do speak decent Spanish, I'm not fluent. So sometimes it can be really difficult to have very detailed or nuanced discussion about our relationship.
So welcome. Thank you. Spanish, English, does that work? See?
I hope that by the end of the session, I'm really clear on Johan's intentions with me and that he's marrying me for love and not because he wants to just come to the United States.
So, why are we here?
Estamos en plano de casarnos y tenemos algunas preguntas.
¿Qué es el primer bloqueo o problema que ven lo más grande? The one that's really getting in the way.
Okay, so like we're getting married on Monday. Then what? I live in New York. He really wants to come to New York. He doesn't want to stay here. I would prefer to come here.
Mi mente de ir allá es trabajar y ayudar a mi familia. Porque aquí yo trabajo y no me da para nada. Todo dominicano quiere ir a los Estados Unidos. Yo no entiendo por qué Daniela, mientras ella se pueda quedar en Nueva York, eso no tiene sentido.
I'm a bit confused. I thought the council was meant to be translating for us because TLC haven't even put in the translation there. Great editing, TLC. Idiots.
Looked at apartments. I thought that was the direction we were going in. So this is kind of new. I think life would be easier for both of us to live here.
Yeah, it is easier here in lots of ways.
Like, that's what I'm craving. Like, I've lived that life, and I know how much simpler this life is. I thought he made it really clear to Johan that I wanted to leave New York so that I could move to the Dominican Republic and be with him. And now he's acting like I never said that. So it's upsetting to me that he wants something so different now, especially when we're days away from getting married.
Johan, ¿qué importancia, de verdad, en tu corazón, es ir a Estados Unidos? De un 0 a 10, vamos a decir.
¿De un 0 a 10?
Sí, de un 0 a 10.
Ven.
Okay, so it's high up. Okay. How does that make you feel, Danielle?
I have to know that making sure that we maintain our lifestyle comes before him maintaining his family's lifestyle. I don't think Johan gets how expensive it is to live in New York City. I have a day job as a teacher and I make good money. I have a side hustle as a wellness coach. And even with 2 jobs and only supporting myself, I'm still not able to save any money. And the worst case scenario is that I'm earning all the money to support us and all the money he makes, he sends home to his family.
Yo siempre ayudo a mi familia. En estos días, yo le compré una nevera a mi mamá. La saqué fía, porque la que había ya estaba muy vieja.
This is the first time I'm hearing that he bought his parents a fridge. So, like, these are the types of things that, like, are problematic for me because that was not a conversation we had. I totally get that Johan's parents needed a fridge, but I'm wondering if every time someone in his family needs something, if he's always the one that's responsible for providing it. How many more debts is he going to take on for his family when he's married to someone who pays all of his bills?
Si ella tiene una duda de casarse, ¿por qué no lo haga?
So he's saying that if you have a doubt about this, then maybe you shouldn't be getting married.
Yo me estoy casando con Daniela porque la amo. Pero estoy enojado, estoy molesto porque ella está dudando de mis intenciones solamente porque yo quiero ayudar a mi familia. Eso es algo muy...
This has been opened. That
I was waiting for the manipulation to begin. I don't care what anybody says. The first sign of manipulation in 90 Day Fiancé, it is like a foundation. Is when the person says, "Well, then maybe we shouldn't get married." So was the first sign. It's generally always the man as well, and that is there for her, and it's built to say that, listen, I'm saying this so you don't think that I'm with you for the money, so you don't think that I'm with you for the green card. But in reality, oh, I am. I'm just doing a little bit of reverse psychology, XYZ.
there's time for everything in life. Why don't you know each other even better than you already do?
Granted, I've only known Johan for 5 months, but I thought I knew what he wanted, and I thought I knew what our future looked like together. But now I'm not so sure. He wants to live in New York. He wants me to work my ass off to support him and his family, and I don't want anything to do with that.
Very good luck and lots of love with all of it. More importantly,
I'm not even going to say it because I've said it probably enough times in this video already.
I'm feeling a little bit out of my element,
everybody not really speaking English. But it just reminds me how Daniel has to feel like a fish out of water all the time here in America. I guess this is how he felt when he was out with my friends. I should have cut Daniel a little slack.
¿Cuándo te llega el permiso de trabajo?
Ni idea. A todos los que estamos aquí nos ha pasado lo mismo. A mí me pasó lo mismo que él. Cuando yo me casé con una americana, yo no podía trabajar y ella era la única que estaba trabajando. Y era muy difícil yo quedarme en casa.
It's really hard because all of it, they already passed where I am right now. And of course, it's hard.
It's just like I forget that he just can't. He can't work.
Amber, es de paciencia.
Que tengo casi 30 años. Si él no tiene, yo tengo. Y el día que yo no tengo, cuento con él. Eso es más importante.
She's 30 years married. And she said, like, it's because if you marry someone, it's to be a partner and to be in the good things and the bad things all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I needed to be reminded of that. I know that Daniel's friends are right, and I do need to be more patient. But I don't know how. The financial burden that I took on has caused a lot of stress. I don't want this tension between Daniel and I. I just want the old us that used to just cuddle and love on each other and just hang out and have a good time. I have to figure out a way to find patience. And I have to hope that things will get better as work permit comes.
Finally, she was able to actually answer all of her problems by herself. Wow, this is amazing. Congratulations. Everyone give her a round of applause. Amber's finally decided to become an actual mature adult. It's taken her God knows how many years, but hey, we're here now, right? How she forgot all these things is just ridiculous to me. But you know what? Sometimes it's a new experience for everybody, and I guess it took you a while. And the main thing is you're here now, and that's, I guess, the main focus, isn't it? But anyway, yeah.
My family has always been conservative and close-minded. That's why I never told them that I am gay. My mother died 11 years ago, and my grandmother died 1 year ago. I love them both so much. Like, they were the most important person in my life, and I regret that I didn't show them my true colors. My sister is literally all that I have left right now, and I don't want any more regrets.
Right. Now it's good. Now I need to continue going in the right direction and let the sister know, and then let the next person know. I do apologize. I forgot if he said whether it was his mother or father that passed away. I think he said it was his father. Whichever parent he has, though, and with all due respect, let them know now. So therefore, you have no more regrets. The longer you wait, why wait? Get it over and done with, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't have to have that burden of regret anymore. Come on now, let's do it.
My hands are sweating, my feet are shaking, my heart is beating so fast.
Take it out,
Thank you.
I just don't know how to jump into it. I feel that I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Quiero hablar de algo muy importante para mí. Y esto no sé cómo lo vas a tomar, pero soy gay.
You know, I saw that coming, the cutscene. It was just coming, wasn't it? Anyway, let's move on.
Come with me. Hello. I just want to do something special for you.
It's beautiful.
Cook some pork, mashed potatoes.
I never had a candlelit dinner before.
I just want to make something make you feel good, make you feel important. I know we just fight sometimes really hard. We fight because it's love. We have to learn how to better communication.
Sometimes I feel lost and like alone, and it's hard. But like they went through the same stuff, so we can only get better, right? I love you.
I love you too.
I forgot what it was like to be so in love with Daniel. I've been so caught up in our reality. I forgot who we used to be.
I have a little surprise for you.
What is it?
Well, I finally can work.
Are you kidding me?
I finally can work.
Are you kidding me? Let me see it. Daniel's got his work permit. Daniel having money in his pocket is only going to make him feel more secure. And he's not going to have to rely on me. And this is just the beginning for him. I can breathe. You can work.
The question is, though, so when are you going to kick out your friends? Aha. Because you see, now you can work. The question is, though, is she now going to be in a position where she's going to eventually start to say to her friends, listen, you got to start bouncing now because we can afford it together? Or is the money that she's getting from the friends going to consume her? She can be like, well, but it's better if they stay just that little bit longer because, you know, it's still helping us just that little bit more. Because if you ask me, someone that got lost and felt alone and was in a different fantasy can easily go back to any one of those three things. Hell, every single one of them. Let's remember that. Remember, it's only episode 8, so I'm waiting to find out how things really turn out by the end of the season. If you trust me when I tell you, she's the kind of person that if she can phase out, if she can forget about certain things and then be a complete dick, she can do it again, even once you're in that position that she needed you to be in. We shall see.
Before this week, we've always talked about me moving to the Dominican Republic. But as we get closer and closer to the wedding, it seems like he's more and more adamant about him moving to New York, which makes me really suspicious. My problem is that your stories are constantly changing. Tu cambiar tu historia.
Yo no cambié ninguna historia.
Tú sabes, yo quiero una vida aquí. Tú sabes, yo buscar por un apartamento aquí.
Yo sé que a Daniela le gustaría vivir en Dominicana para siempre, pero yo pensaba que estaban en la misma página. Ir a vivir a su país por un tiempo, hacer un dinerito y volver aquí a mi país otra vez. Entonces yo no entiendo. Tú no me entendiste. Yo dije, quiero vivir un tiempo en Nueva York, trabajar, hacer dinero.
Por ayudar a tu familia.
A mi familia no.
Sí, es por qué. Tú no entiendes.
Tú no entiendes.
Pero tu familia.
No estoy hablando de ahora, estoy hablando de un tiempo, no ahora.
I understand that the employment opportunities are so much greater in the United States than they are in the Dominican Republic. But what he doesn't get is that the cost of living is so much higher. So the money that he's going to make is not even going to cover his living expenses. Never mind being able to generate a savings account. Never mind being able to send money back to his family. And then how are we going to build a life together? Tú dices, tú entiendes, pero tú no entiendes.
No, tú no entiendes porque tú me repites lo mismo otra vez y eso me molesta, me hace aquí ya vaina. Pues me olvides de mi familia, no entiendo.
Es diferente cuando tú ayudas a tu familia y yo ayudo a tu familia. Ahora yo necesito ayudar a tu familia.
I don't know where these subtitles are today, but they are non-existent. But obviously the grand scheme of it is that the conversation has not changed. She's still worried that he's using her, and she's also still worried about the fact that his plans are not changing, and nothing new is with her at all. So therefore, she's going to continue ignoring the red flags, and to be honest with you, like I said before, no sympathy.
I really believed in the beginning that Johan loved me for me. And when you have love, you can get through anything. And when two people have the same idea of what, like, a foundation built on love looks like, anything is possible. But I don't know if that's what this is anymore. I really don't. Right now, I don't know that I want to marry him.
Next time on Love in Paradise.
Hold on a minute. They didn't show us Carlos and his sister's reaction. What kind of jammy people are these? Why are they doing that for? I'm not happy about that. Definitely not happy about that. What? Anyway. Thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. It hasn't been a great video. Wasn't really much to go by. That's probably because a lot of it was just repetitive stuff. And it's like, come on. Storylines. You're filming the same things again and again and again. Give us something new, give us something fresh. But it was nice to see Amber finally wake up. But again, that wake up is only temporarily if you ask me. But it was good to see her hold herself accountable for her own actions, which does make it a bit more promising. But hey, let me know what you're thinking down below. Like, subscribe, and peace.